Hello, everyone, and welcome to a very, very special LSE Transfer Room stream. We are announcing a new signing. Dominik Szoboszlai from RB Leipzig has signed today with a work permit due to happen anytime soon. His medical was completed yesterday, and we have got him finally. Our new number 8, Dominik Szoboszlai. Incredible signing, incredible. I'm just going to add Kev into the stream. Hello, Kev. How are we doing, mate? How are we doing?
Absolutely superb, mate. How are you?
You know what? We've got a new number 8, and I couldn't have got a better number 8 if I'm honest. Apart from obviously the Jude Bellingham, but let's forget that. Szoboszlai's coming now. Finally, let's go add Charlie in as well. Charlie, how is it doing, mate? How are you doing, mate? New signing. That's 2 through the door now, including Alexis McAllister. So, Kev, new number 8. Are you happy with the number 8? Are you happy with?
I am.
Are you happy with the number 8?
Do you know what? Right, I was talking about this the other week with on one of the streams. I think with Jake, and numbers mean a lot to me. Do you know what I mean? But it shows the confidence. I'm to take the number 8. I think everyone was expecting it would have been a Bellingham kind of player, but to stand up and have the confidence to take that number 8, I'm well impressed. Do you know what I mean? And what I've seen already, I know you're his biggest fan and you've watched a lot of them, but I can't wait. Can't wait to see our new number 8 in playing for us. £60 million
paid up front like that. Whether it was a loan off a third party, we don't know yet. That'll come out. I'm guessing next week or so. But his work permit's due to happen in the coming days, but we got him yesterday. His pictures were arrived on the plane.
Yeah,
he's been seen in the number 8 now online. A leaked picture of him in the kit for his photo shoot. How much does this have? And for me personally, I'm absolutely ecstatic with this one because this is a guy, like I said the other day on stream, I've been following for quite a while. How do you feel? How do you feel about him coming into the Liverpool side? Do you think he can make that big of an impact?
I think he can. I'm fully expecting to see what we saw at Leipzig and possibly even more. I think he could go up a few notches with us. It gives us a bit of more creativity in that midfield that's been lacking over the years. We've always heavily relied, especially last season, on Thiago. If Thiago wasn't playing, you're already thinking, well, where's that creativity coming from? But you look at what. You only have to look at the options we've got for next season from that forward. Well, the forward 5, maybe 6 players, and the different formations and how versatile that is. I've mentioned it a few times, but it looks as though that is the key to our transfer window: versatility and flexibility in there. And to have a player like him is just the icing on the cake. 60 million up front. I don't know whether John Henry was listening to our stream on Thursday and thought, you know what, I'm going to have to need to do something here. But I'm made up that we did, because I actually thought I had reservations. I didn't think on Friday that we would hit that release clause. Mo Shatters and provide, if anyone watches him, if you go on his thread, he's done a thread on how the third party loan would work and how it's been paid up front. So I'm ecstatic myself personally.
I think John Henry's going to be contacting his bank this morning, having lost his wallet yesterday. He needs to cancel all his cards are being cancelled at the moment. He's panicking. I think he's panicking and saying, who's taking my bank card at this point? Hi, how are you doing, mate? Nice to see you on stream. The first time I'm seeing you. What a way to come on for the first time with me.
Yeah. Hi, good to see you. I'm just really excited. I'm really great to see FSG finally, backing Jurgen after a few seasons who were pretty tough. And I was impressed, to be honest, with the fact that we finally just got in and didn't wait and try to get the price down. Just triggered the release clause, got him, and it's all good. Unless kind of the Fabinho deal and Jota and everyone else just out of nowhere. Good to see that, and good to have him alongside Mac, obviously. So it's a pretty good summer so far.
So far, so good. Yeah, like you said, we've still got more business to do. Hopefully, let's So we can get maybe another midfielder, maybe 2 round, maybe a centre back up. Let's see what we can do. But this Szoboszlai is, like I said, it's a guy that I've been following for quite a while. He's 22 years old, plenty of potential so far. Perfect age, I think, coming to Liverpool right now. Build, I won't say build around him, but you can still build around him for the future, for the next 5-10 years. And he started at Liefering in Austria, Hungarian young attacking midfielder he is. He play left, play right, play centre mid. Such like Kev said, versatile. A perfect Klopp player. Came through Salzburg then after that. Salzburg obviously are known for producing talent like this. Obviously didn't come from Salzburg originally, but Salzburg know what they're doing. Haaland, Mane, Keita. I'm not going to say much about Keita, but they've still got those foundations there. RB Leipzig took him from Salzburg, as they always do, with their connections, with the same ownership. And just like Keita, he came to Liverpool straight after with a big price tag and wearing the same number as Keita as well, number 8. Is this another Keita transfer, Ked, or is this something different?
This is for me something different. This is different to the Keita style. I think you see with them there's a difference in personality. Keita came over and was a little lacked in confidence, was on the peripheral of the group, I would say. Took his time to get into the group. I don't see Szoboszlai as one of them. I think he's one of them that will be in the middle. He's a very confident lad for the age. Yeah, and if you haven't seen already, if you haven't, his penalty in which Neymar comes up and goes, "Well, what are you going to do?" "Well, I always score." Do you know what I mean? The confidence. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's about. This is totally different to the way Keita came. Keita came with us wanting to be like that. He's already built like this. He's got the confidence and he's shown and got the desire to play at the club. And it says it all by him taking the number 8 shirt. That says it all for me. So I'm made up. Here's James.
Yeah, exactly what you just said there, Kev. I mean, the confidence for me is key, because it's okay getting talented players, but when they come with that swagger, when that confidence already in them, with Klopp is the best person to get the best out of players anyway. But to come with that confidence, like you said to Neymar, I've got it. I don't miss. James, does this one excite you as much as it does me, mate?
I genuinely think he's the first replacement we've had for Gini Wijnaldum. Progressive running, strong on the ball. I don't think he's going to be playing in a number 10. I think he's going to be doing what Gini Wijnaldum was doing, which is just take the ball, take someone on, because that's where he's strong. Drive forward with the ball, that's where he's strong. Through balls. It's just... When did Gini leave? How many years ago was that now?
2 years now.
Yeah, so...
I mean, James went at a midfielder like this since Coutinho, really, in terms of distributing in terms of front of goal as well as the assists and goals. Now we've got 2 of them in one window.
Do you know what? There's something special about a goal scored from outside the box, isn't there? You know, like a long range screamer and stuff like that. And there's no one really in the Liverpool squad at the moment that does it. Nunes did it a few times where he just shot it.
That's about it, yeah.
But there's no one that's constantly putting him in there. And, we had Gerrard, who was obviously the best at it. And then Coutinho had that spell where he was unbelievable. Suarez. So to have someone in the squad who will actually take the shot. I think Ox was probably the last one that we had. And, if you could ever put him together to put him on the pitch. So to have a long-range shooter, it's just a reason to get out your seats. So, and
it gives defenders another thing to think about, doesn't it? Because when you've got that, you've got to close it down. You've got to close it down. He's got such an accurate shot. You've seen him with his penalties, seen him with his free kicks and his long-range shots anyway. It's so accurate. Those defenders will have to second guess. And this is where the space comes in behind now for Salah, Gakpo, Nunes, Diaz. We've got a plethora of players that are in that attacking role now. How much does this change now young Klopp's tactics, James?
Ooh, that's a good question. I don't think it really changes his tactics. I think it just allows Liverpool to play as we want to play, which is a dynamic midfield. I still think my gut reaction is Thiago may leave, Thuram may come in as well, and then we go back to a dynamic, sprinting, hard-working midfield. I love Thiago and stuff like that, but this is another non-homegrown, so with him in, that gives us one more space. I think with the defender, I think probably someone's going out, so Thiago or Matip, but we need a defender, so it may be Thiago. Which I really like Thiago, but he can't work in a dynamic running midfield. It's not his game.
Mihai, going on to what James just said there about the dynamic midfield, this is slightly different, isn't it? I mean, it's dynamic, it's fast, it's energetic, it's pressing, but it's got a little bit of flair in it as well, hasn't it?
Yeah, to me, the only, and to kind of go off of what James just said, to me, it's frustrating with Thiago, and the thing with him leaving. To me, he was kind of like a generational player, the kind of player you don't see. I think the closest to what Xavi and Iniesta were a few years back, the passing, the vision, everything he had. About the midfield. Now, the only reason I'd be concerned is tracking back. I'm not really sure. Szoboszlai used to be, or from what I read from Hungarian fans, he shines where he's on the ball, when he's dribbling, when he takes on someone. But tracking back, that's something he does, and I think it's something that Jurgen will definitely tell him to do more. But I don't know if it's necessarily one of his top 3 attributes. But yeah, I think it depends. If we have something like maybe Fabinho playing and then McAllister and Szoboszlai next to each other, then yeah, it can be.
Having said that, then, mate, who else would you bring in to cover that sort of lack of effort to get back?
Yeah, I was thinking in the last few days, I'm not really sure if Thuram is the kind of player to play, to be a defensive mid. And if we're thinking of bringing someone more defensive minded, it's probably going to be, we were linked to Kone, but I'm not sure that will happen now as he's injured. Someone like Lavia sounds great, but I'm not really sure if we'll go. What's the thing with the City clause that they have? They can match any offers, and yeah. I don't know. I think our priority right now, at least for me, would be to bring in another center back before another mid. But yeah, it's going to be complicated because we have that homegrown spot, and I think it's only one left now.
If you've just joined us, 35 people watching at the moment, we have just signed another centre midfielder, a midfielder where we needed. Really, I think we needed. James said it before. Someone to drive from midfield. We don't have that. We've not had it since Coutinho, Wijnaldum days. £60 million. £60 million release clause. Kev, has this surprised you that we've even paid that? I mean, FSG, like I said earlier, he'd be looking for his bank card this morning. John Henry would be panicking, contacting his bank at every opportunity. If it's closed, then he's knackered, isn't he?
Well, I reckon his bank has gone the same as what Twitter's done over the last 2 days, and that's the reason why Klopp took a full thing of it all. Do you know what? I'll be honest. Only until I saw Mo chatter, and I think James knows this more because he's from that kind of background and knows a little bit. But I as soon as I saw 60 million up front, I thought, well, there's our budget gone for this year. But how it can be done and how it can be offset over 4 or 5 years, that's that and going to a third party. It's kind of surprised me, and I think there's going to be a few more surprises, I think, as well, because I just get the feeling that that at some point I'll be honest, coming off on Thursday, I was kind of like a bit deflated. And then when you see the links on Friday, and again, I agree with what Mihai said. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, sorry, but I just get the feeling that, this came out of nowhere. No one saw this, and to jump on it on Friday and then we know that there's a release clause there and we go and hit it. It just says everything for me that, the club's doing what but they've been pushed into this situation where we've been left with neglected into some degree to how the midfield's gone. So at some point, money was going to have to be paid. But I'm excited. I can't wait to see him play, to be honest. And I've seen him a few times playing against us pre-season wise and in the Champions League. But it's going to be great when Danny's going to be our number 8, and but I agree with Mihai. I do think we need someone who's got the engine in there to provide us with, whether that's Lavier or, ideally it would be Casado for me, but we'll wait and see. But let's jump on to the next one. Let's see who's next through the door. You know what I mean? So no.
Who's next through the door, James? Who's next through the door? That is the question right now. Before I come to you though, James, we're going to be rotating people on and off.
I was going to say, should we see who's next in the Liverpool fan channel?
A big announcement at the moment, and I think we're going to get Charlie on at the moment. Charlie, Kev just said we're going to get another player through the door. Who can follow after Szoboszlai then, mate?
Thuram. It's going to be. Well, I was going to drop Mbappe, but we'll drop that little chat. But yeah, Thuram. Let's get him in. That's an absolute monster midfield. Loving it. Can't wait for the season to start now. After the last season, after everything that kind of happened and the way it just fell apart, I know we got a little bit of momentum, but I'm really looking forward to next season now. I'm really looking forward to pre-season, seeing how the guys kind of gel. The free kicks, someone's just mentioned in our kind of Twitter group, who's going to take the free kicks? If I'm Kepa come opening day and there's a kind of edge of the box kind of free kick coming in, he's going to be crapping himself, let's be honest.
Dan, regarding the transfer now, Dan, welcome to the stream, by the way. It's the first time seeing you, so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys too. Yeah, no, it's very exciting, isn't it? Like, we signed a new number 8, and what was it like less than a week since Naby's left, because all their contracts ended June 30th. So yeah, no, it's absolutely crazy. I like what Charlie mentioned though. I think I saw something on Twitter before Elon decided to break the website, where it was a picture of a rocket truck just shooting missiles. It's like Szoboszlai first day just pelting Kepa from long range. It's very exciting. I think I follow the Bundesliga, but I follow Mönchengladbach, so I watched a bunch of different players in a couple of years. I honestly think Szoboszlai, I don't think he'll start for probably till October, but it's very exciting. I think he will probably be Liverpool's best midfield player that we've seen since, oh God, who's our best? Probably Coutinho, and I would even say like Coutinho really was only like our best player, like maybe around 4 months in 2017. It's very exciting, but it's nice to meet all of you finally. Hello.
The thing is, Dan, you say it's about exciting as well. I think just because we've been starved for a few summers, I feel like this is the first time I've felt like this for quite a while in terms of summers. This is exactly what we need, isn't it? This sort of refreshing. The fans need it. The players need it. You can see everyone needs this sort of kick up the backside, don't they?
Oh yeah, I mean, honestly, for me, when it comes to transfers, I'm always someone that's like, I'm usually very relaxed because usually like we always get someone in that's really big. I was more worried like a couple years ago when I thought we were gonna miss out on Van Dijk and Alisson, but I was actually not too worried about this. I'm like, listen, I know it's crazy. We'll get someone. I don't know who it's gonna be, but you're right. Where I started to get worried is when Ibrahima Konate, Van Dijk, and like all the other players start saying it's like, yeah, we need to sign some new players. And I don't think that's a detriment to like other players we have. I just think they kind of looked around and said like, we need some good players in here now. And that's always a worrying sign. And even when Klopp's coming out and saying, yeah, we need to sign a lot of players. And I believe that it had been reported that during this season of turmoil, Klopp's been getting more and more power within the FSG infrastructure. So the fact that they've been pushing these transfers now, McAllister for 35, triggering a release clause with Szoboszlai, I think it's really showing now that they're looking around and saying like, yeah, we kind of missed out on a one or two players here and there, so we need to fix all these problems now instead of having to wait a couple years to fix it. But yeah, it is exciting. And we have been starved for a bit from like really, really high impact players. We don't have to get excited about Harvey Elliott anymore. And I love Harvey. And we don't have to get excited about, is Leighton Clarkson or Tyler Morton or Harry Wilson going to provide something? Now it's like, no, we know we're getting proven quality from the Bundesliga. It's going to be amazing.
The problem is with last season is the fact we got Nunes. I was a bit excited about Nunes, but Mane left. So it was like a like-for-like replace rather than just an actual brilliant addition. And 2 in the same window at the moment. It's not like it's not like us, is it, Kev? And before you come to though, Kev, make sure you like and subscribe, like Charlie said in the comments there. We've got quite a few people watching. We're going to be live as much as we can every night. We're going live tonight again at 7:30 tonight. Probably going over this again, but this is a special announcement, and it's just been announced that Dominik Szoboszlai has signed for the Liverpool Football Club for a £16 million release clause. His work permit is due to go through, and he's passed his medical yesterday, but it has been officially announced by the Liverpool Football Club, and it's 2 for the door, Kev. And we said the other night, didn't we, that this needed to happen. And we were panicking that was it just going to be McAllister? It's not. It's finally happened. Do you expect more to come through the door then?
I am expecting. Just to carry on with the Szoboszlai thing, it works well because we've got a perfect replacement for when Salah goes to AFCON, which will be next year, isn't it? So you've got an ideal replacement, someone who can continue in that position and can play it to a high level. And by the time that comes around, they'll be well in place and then integrated into the team. I am expecting. I'd like to see another midfielder. I'd like us to get a proper number 6 if possible. If not that, maybe. As we've been linked with heavily with his Thuram, but then questions of defensively, where does that leave us? So, for the defensive midfielder, I'd like to see a left centre back in, if I'm being perfectly honest. And who that would be, I'd love it to be Gvardiol, but it's not going to be him. It's not going to be Bastoni. Sporting Lisbon have got a left-sided centre back that could release another release clause for. There's no other options now we can start looking at. For me, I would like to see a number 6 come in, ideally, as the next one. If not, if we get Thuram, then where does that leave us in the balance of that midfield? Because you've got a lot of people who can progressively walk with the ball. Or a few of them got it in the locker to players on number 6, like McAllister's done at the early start of last season for Brighton. So is that versatility going to be shone through if we do get Thuram, who has the physicality of a 6'4" dominance in that middle of that park, but is progressively coming out with the ball? Do we have too many in there creating and coming out with the ball, or do we need someone in there that needs to do that? I do like the Colwell link as well, but it all depends on Chelsea. I know he's having discussions with Chelsea because they want to extend his contract. He would be perfect for me, but whether we can do that, that's down to that. But for me, I'd like another midfielder in, and then move on to the left centre back situation for me.
Well, there you go, Kev. See, Lakers just said I can't get on Twitter at the moment. I'm still using my phone for this, but Romano has said that still wants to sign Romeo Lavia from Southampton. So, Charlie, is Lavia the guy that you go down the route to go get him?
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day, I think, when it came to the homegrown spots, and Lavia, kind of doesn't need to fit into the non-homegrown spots because of his age. He's already signed and played one season with Southampton in England. So in terms of that, it gives us the profile to be able to allow for another non-homegrown player to come in. So who could that be? Whether that be Thuram, I'd still think that we should be looking at that left-sided centre-back position. That the character that mentioned about Thuram and Colwell, that's actually me. So that's my end of summer. I'd love to have Thuram and Colwell come in. However, if Lavia does come in, I think he's got everything that he needs to be able to perform and do really, really well in the Liverpool setup. Just time. He needs that time. That's the only thing. Let's see how it goes.
Will they get that time, James? Lavia? We've got Fabinho there, but Cetic can play there. So is he the perfect signing right now? Because, like you said, needs time, but we've got the players there, haven't we?
Right. My neighbour's alarm's going. I don't know if you can hear it. If you can't, I'll carry on. You can?
We can, yeah.
Someone's broken into John Henry's house. His wallet. James is neighbours with John Henry, and he's just been broken into.
Yeah. 100% breaking news.
That's why we're getting 3 midfields in the space of 2 weeks. Doesn't happen much, but here we go. James, are you assisting that breaking?
I can neither confirm nor deny my involvement in this acquisition.
Is it the bank? Is John Henry just stealing all that money?
It's James.
I can neither confirm nor deny my involvement in the bank.
You've took his wallet. I mean, James has been talking about likes of McAllister and Lavia himself, so I think he's number one suspect at the moment. I expect to knock on the door later on, James, from the police. Miha, I'm going to come to you, mate. We've got McAllister, we've got Szoboszlai, Lavia. Is that enough midfielders now for next season? Have we got the right amount? Have we got the right quality? Most and foremost.
I think, yeah, absolutely. And I think it's great that we're linked to Lavia. Just it kind of goes off what we were just saying about, a proper 6. I think he is that. I think he can definitely play there and be a bit more defensive-minded in that midfield. And yeah, I don't want to get too carried away, but I think this is enough for us to challenge for the league. I mean, it should be at least. We all know Jurgen is always gonna be the guy to go for the big trophies, and yeah, I think that's, to me at least, that's enough for next season. I think we still have a lot of players, like we've seen Jones, in the last few matches of the season, he played great. We know Bajcetic is a great talent. We still have Fabinho Hendo who can cover, Harvey Elliott, obviously. So I think it now, if we compare it to where we were last season, I think we're now looking at it, and yeah, that's pretty exciting. And to be honest, I can't wait to see them play.
This is all we've been asking for. The people that like myself, I don't like FSG. I'm still FSG out, by the way, because this has been too little, too late for me.
What? You're FSG out? You've never mentioned.
I don't believe that for one
I have
minute
never
at
I keep
all.
my cards close to my chest, mate. I keep my cards close to my chest.
You've got John Henry on your back, haven't you? Just with the cigar.
Well, you should know. I used your next door neighbour. So, yeah. This is what we've been asking for. Those that are FSG out, and people saying, where are the FSG out? This is what we've been asking for. This ambition, it's not just about quantity sometimes, it's quality. We had quantity last season. We had 7, 8 midfielders. They're either injury prone or crap. So you can't just rely on quantity all the time. Quantity doesn't get you anywhere. You need quality in the door as well. McAllister quality, Premier League quality, by the way. Szoboszlai looks unbelievable. Whether he can do it in the Premier League, let's see. But the potential's there. Dan, do you agree with this being enough for this transfer window? Do you think we a number 6 should? I think the other lads are saying number 6. Do you think a number 6 should be next?
I mean, to be fair, I think what this allows is more flexibility in the 6. So when we think of a number 6, like everyone thinks Fabinho, the idea of a destroyer, someone who can drop back, someone who can keep the ball, someone who can move the ball. If you think back to 2021, we had Fabinho at the 6, Henderson at the 6, and Thiago at the 6. And I think even next year you could see Lavia at the 6, Bajcetic at the 6, though I think he could do it, but I think Bajcetic is still, we're gonna have to see like
he's quite versatile, isn't he? He can play
number 8. He is.
Played number 8 last season at one time. He was just unbelievable.
He is. I actually think so. What's interesting, the difference between Lavia and Thuram is that Thuram is probably closer to a Naby in the sense of someone who can play further forward, can receive the ball, can dribble the ball, progresses through his dribbles more than so through his passing, like Szoboszlai. Lavia is a kind of he's a 6 in kind of the way Henderson's a 6, someone who plays back to goal, receives the ball, spins, plays the ball, can receive it under pressure and turn, kind of like what Fab was at his height, someone who can you can kind of build the play around him, receiving the ball and cycling the ball and moving the ball. I think if they sign Lavia, I think like the midfield's good for the next like 5 years probably, like with all their contracts. I mean, even if you think about Henderson leaving in the next, I think 2 years in his contract, Thiago's probably going to leave next year. He has replacements already, McAllister, Jones, potentially Bajcetic. Fabinho's going to leave in a couple years. You think of his replacements potentially being Lavia or even Bajcetic. I know I'm saying Bajcetic can cover different roles. And even on the right side, you have Henderson, Szoboszlai, Harvey, and even Fabio. I know it hasn't been mentioned. I'm a big believer in Fabio Carvalho. I think he's the real deal. I think he struggled a lot last year with the fact that no one knew what to do with him because there were so many issues. And I think if he comes back, you could see Carvalho also come into a midfield position in that kind of 10 role. And I agree with what's been said, that once we kind of get the DM, move on to a center back or someone who can play left back / center back as well, especially if they've saved so much money. Essentially, right now, the two players, McAllister and Szoboszlai, is the Jude Bellingham pay scale, transfer fee, but also less wages probably. If you look at the wages he's on at Madrid, Szoboszlai and McAllister are going to come in on way less wages, both of them. And you could probably throw a third player in there, and those three players, Lavia, Szoboszlai, and McAllister, will be a Jude Bellingham in one. And I think that going back to April, where I think we were all disappointed, we're not going to get Jude Bellingham, we've probably fixed all of our problems for the next couple of years. And I think it's probably the best window we've had since 17-18.
You're saying the best window, and we've only got 2 signings. I mean, that tells you everything for the last 2, 3, 4 seasons.
Yeah, absolutely.
We haven't been moving at all in the transfer window. Like Charles said again, make sure you like and subscribe, guys. If we get to 10,000 subscribers by the season starting, James said he will do a live watch along going into John Henry's house next door.
And you said you would do a stream with our Americans with your fake American accent. Let's not forget that. So you shouldn't do stuff like this when I'm on stream, because I remember I've got receipts for this.
I'm up for anything, my friend. I'll do anything. I'll do anything once. So yeah, we'll get a live stream. James going into John Henry's house next door, and maybe this time negotiate with him. If I haven't taken his bank card, I might negotiate with him this time. There's a bit of leeway now for Mr. Henry for another month. Only for a month though, John. We still want you out. So guys, not long left now till the season starts. I know it's only just finished, but it's only a month away. Does Szoboszlai get straight into the team then, James?
Interesting. I think one of them will, and I think pre-season will tell us which one. I think Klopp will start the midfield slower because, we can see Fabinho's working his ass off. He's all over social media, a bit like Salah, shirt off, working out. I think Fab will start. I reckon one of the new ones will start, and I think probably either Curtis Jones or Henderson will start, which I know people don't want to hear, but I think you don't throw everyone at it straight away. You integrate them, you train them together, you bring them in at different points. So I don't think they will both start. I think one of them will. And I'm not even massively for it. As much as I like Lavia as a player and stuff like that, we have to remember we're Liverpool Football Club. The amount of times we're going to need a defensive midfielder to bail us out in situations is very small if we're doing a high press game. One of the perks of Szoboszlai is he's got one of the best recoveries in the Bundesliga, which basically means when a high press happens, he's there to just sweep up the ball, exactly what Gini Wijnaldum did. So I don't necessarily think we need that over tackle, because I don't think we should be getting attacked that much. We should be high press, high energy, winning the ball back high up and doing it that way. Yes, I would like Lavia. I think he's a good player, but I think Bajcetic can do it. I think Fabinho's got his last year. So I'm not massively bothered. I just think we need another midfielder. And I think ideally it needs to be someone that can play with us for a year, probably a backup midfielder that can learn the system for a year and then sort of come through. So yeah, overall, I'm really pleased. I wouldn't be upset if any of them started. I wouldn't be upset if 2 of them started, but I think probably only one will start first game of the season, because I think that against Chelsea, you kind of don't want to ruin everyone's confidence on day one, do you?
No, not at all. Klopp does it quite often, doesn't he? He gels players in, but with Liverpool's season last season and the fact that we need that sort of impact straight away, is Klopp going to change the way he does things and get him straight in, because we need that impact straight away? And Chelsea's not an easy game to go to. And Mihai, give me your 11 then for Chelsea. If this is it now, then Mihai, no more signings. What's your 11 for Chelsea?
Yeah. Okay. Do you mean the entire 11 or just the midfield? Because that's kind of the.
Just give me midfield. Just give me midfield. Is it going to be the same system then with Trent going into midfield and attacks?
I think I'd like us to go back to the 4-3-3 at least for the beginning of the season and see how it goes. I think it's I just still see Fabinho, McAllister, and probably Hendo. I don't know. I'd like to see Szoboszlai obviously as soon as possible, but yeah, it's kind of difficult first match to play away at Stamford Bridge. So I think Klopp's gonna stay loyal again to probably Fabinho and Hendo, and then just play Mac because he kind of has the experience, and I don't think it'll be a huge problem for him to play. But with Szoboszlai, I think he'll be integrated a bit slower, just like Fabinho was, or maybe not as slow. But
hey, Moose, this is all I wanted. It's all I wanted. This is what I've been crying about for 5 years. It's just we need ambition. This is all we needed. This is all we needed. Everyone needs ambition. I mean, look at Arsenal. They've gone second. They're going out there and saying, look, getting Rice, we're getting Timber. They want to go again. They want to go again. We will go again, but we need to be given the best tools to do so. Klopp can't keep working miracles every season. And this is what this is getting now the best people to go again. If we want to get those trophies and we want to build this guy this legacy that he deserves it, by the way. If he goes in 2 years' time, 3 years' time, and he only needs one Premier League, one Champions League, that's not good for him. That's not good for him at all. Yes, Tar. Nice to see you back on. Go on, mate.
I've got a question for you, Damo. Right, so Arsenal are ambitious to finish second, etc., etc. All right, yeah. Let's say we did Arsenal's business. We spent 165 million, and we got Havertz and Rice. And Arsenal signed Mac and Szoboszlai for 100 million. Would you still be angry, or would you be happy because big money had been spent?
No, because it was never about the money as in like 100 million a player. It was always about the amount in total, if that makes sense. We never really went past 40, 50 million net spend. For a club like Liverpool, we should be doing that every window, especially every summer window. And when we needed players, it's not like we didn't need them. We needed midfielders last season. We could have got these deals done last season, by the way. We just wasted the season for nothing. That's the problem. We should have been doing this.
I'm not 100% with you on that one because of how obviously the wages and the people running through and stuff. But I get the logic. We should have moved the people out last season. But if we couldn't move them out, then
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I know if we got back last season the way we have done now, I think Klopp would have moved them on. Because if he got rid of say Henderson, if he got rid of Ox, Keita, say Thiago, for example, as three midfielders gone, without the money being backed in, without being added money into the budget, it wouldn't be able to replace them. They wouldn't be able to bring 2 free midfielders in. It'd be able to afford one possibly. For the money we got, we weren't going to get much for Ox. 10 million? That's not going to pay for a midfielder. That's not even going to pay for McAllister, and we got McAllister on dead cheap. So yeah, this is all we wanted. This is what I wanted. I've never been excited this for a window for a long time, and especially Szoboszlai. This is, like I said, I've followed him for quite a while now, and he gets excited. I didn't think we'd ever be in for him though. I've never really thought about even him coming to Liverpool. I've always said, I'd love him at Liverpool, but I've never thought it'd ever happen. And like I think Kev said it earlier, like he's come out of the blue. This one's come out of the blue again, and Liverpool are pretty good at doing this, but let's see if we can continue this now for the window. We've got how many days left at the window? Is it September the 1st it finishes?
It's a good few. It's a couple of months, isn't it?
Quite a few, yeah. But I think I looked more to the season rather than the end of the window because I know Klopp wants to get his business done, especially the pre-season coming up. That'll be only a few weeks away. So yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for coming on, James, Mihai, Charlie, Kev, and Dan. We will be on again tonight at 7:30. I'm sure there'll be more chat about Szoboszlai, more chat about Lavia, more chat about John Henry getting raided from this lad over here. we'll keep you updated on the chat on the live later on if James Bell's been arrested for that certain incident.
I can neither confirm nor deny my involvement.
Thank you everyone for coming on anyway. Up the Reds and Dominik Szoboszlai. Welcome to Anfield.